at how dumb they think you are. To show the gates when they open at 8:30 and people just start pouring in because they don't want to show nobody because people know that would be a lie. So you see them all pouring in. They don't show you hours later when it's the biggest crowd ever. Or they say, yeah, he took out the Martin Luther King bus and the whole media runs with it. And it's just ongoing. It's not like our country's North Korea. This is a country worth defending. They're afraid of it. The idea in Europe, there was a Renaissance. You weren't allowed to have your own business. You had to work for a lord. The Renaissance was about little people.
Mm-hmm.
Restaurants didn't exist then because the elite wouldn't let somebody open one. Basically, if you had a tavern or a hotel, there could be like maybe one on the road because it was authorized by the local lord. And it had huge prices because you had to buy it there.
Mm-hmm.
It's a country store, a company store where they overcharge you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can be a sharecropper here, but you got to buy your food here. You got to buy your clothes here. It's cost 5 times what it should. That's all globalism is. And if you want to rip people off and not have competition, you're walking on the fighting side of the inheritors of the greatest experiment ever in the Renaissance. And I talk about Renaissance constantly because other people don't understand how historical it is. Now you're hearing it. And again, when I tell you the success we're having, I knew we were having big success over a decade ago, but I didn't know how big. And now listeners have to know the little things you do add together, they're huge. Leanne, you were here watching the footage, going out, covering things. There was the big march of women here as well.
Mm-hmm.
They really are deceived. It's much bigger than it would have been, obviously. The fact that he won has really freaked them out, and they really think Hitler's coming for them, with Van Jones and the Pope all saying he's Hitler.
Right.
I mean, I know in the last couple of years, some people were kind of a little on the fence about Trump. As time's gone on, I never ordered anybody around here to get behind Trump. Some people were, again, in the middle of the road or didn't like him. Everybody here has come over to Trump and then said, wow, he's better than we thought he'd be. And now seeing that speech saying this isn't liberal or conservative, this is about empowerment and coming together and everyone racially loving each other and working together. And it wasn't done from a stirring up old wounds perspective. It was, we're great, we got red blood, let's go to the stars. And that just had the enemy so upset.
Mm-hmm. Everyone's faces, and CNN actually put out this gigapixel photograph of the inauguration. They debunked themselves on that crowd size. You can go to it and see how huge the crowd was, but you can also go behind Donald Trump and see all the people, all the elitists that he was speaking specifically to, the people who have been serving themselves rather than being public servants.
And it's okay to be rich and successful if you build something that people then pay you for and it's a good price. But you don't just take over everything and then make everybody poor because you can get more out of them for each thing you sell them.
Exactly. And tell them they're going to be in trouble for insider tradings and things like that, but then exempt yourself so you can get rich off the back of the people, but then make it so that no one else can get rich and you should live in.
And by the way, the Republicans said, hey, no, let's keep this law where we can insider trade. And Trump said, we're getting rid of that.
Mm-hmm. Well,
guess who isn't in the stock market? Donald Trump.
Look at this CNN's gigapixel. Look at there. You can see the crowds filled in. Obviously, yes. And can we just put it to rest? Of course, more people were there for Obama's inauguration. It was A, historical. B, it was lined up with MLK Day. So, of course, there were more people in town, period. Whatever.
Well, no, let's be clear. Let's be clear.
The fact is
they didn't have to fence off that much. They won't let you stand on those areas that are covered up.
Right.
So they show, oh, look, there's areas with no people. Well, look how it's symmetrical. Go back to the, for radio listeners, I'll describe this. Go back to the back. Go back to down Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
The Metro found like 550,000 people use it. For Obama's first, it was only 300-something thousand. The point is, CNN showed a photo earlier of 8:30 in the morning when the gates first opened and said nobody was there.
Well, and also, too, people on Twitter, they're fighting about it. They're like, well, if you come from the opposite angle, looking toward Trump from the monument, it looks more sparse. Well, okay, that's fine. Then Donald Trump is not wrong when he says it went all the way back to the monument. You know what I mean? So it's like either way you look at this argument, but they just have.
Meanwhile, I couldn't get in for over an hour because they were beating people up and attacking them trying to get in.
Look at that fake crap. They debunk themselves with their own pixelated photo.
In fact, no one's done this properly. When I'm going to shoot a video after the show today, and I'm going to show CNN debunks itself. I guess we just kind of did it right now. They show their 8:30 in the morning photo, and and it's almost empty.
And they doubled down with this photo yesterday at the gym. That's why I got so triggered and I had to come on to the show yesterday. Because then again, CNN's like, Trump said we lied. Here, we'll show you the photo.
God, they're incredible.
We'll show you the photo. And
what do you think they're thinking? Because they keep getting caught and then they double down.
What they're thinking is that people, these morons that only get their news via CNN.
Good God.
They think that they're going to get by on the fact.
Now, let's be clear. This is when he's being sworn in. This is CNN's own megapixel photo on their own site showing it completely full all the way to the back.
Right.
Now, let's go to a shot when they first opened the gates, because they didn't have it all gated off as far back in 2009. They had to with this because of all the threats. Now, look at that.
Right.
Look at that.
Look how.
I mean, if you're a radio listener, we're going to put this video up on Infowars.com. They are crazy. But Leanne.
They think you're crazy. And not only that, but CNN also refused to cover the fact that there were mobs of people blocking off all of the entrances.
Or beating people up.
Beating people up.
And the police were wearing pink condom head hats like the women protesters and letting them do it to us.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and just started.
They were told to stand down.
We just went ahead and just ran over people.
Well, you know.
In fact, I did it twice, and I came to another group. I just ran them over again. Of course, it was. I mean, I normally run over them anyways, but I did have some pretty tough guys with me.
You were like,
well, I had one guy he threw 6 people.
That was their moment, you know. They were allowed to be tough and feel like you know, that they think the world is theirs. That's why you had the older woman.
I saw one anarchist like punch this really big guy who was just going to his job. And he tells them, because they were blocking a normal street, not just the entrances, like up there. And I saw it. I was waiting for my credentials. A cabbie was bringing them to me that we paid to drive them over to me. And I'm outside just watching them beat women, attack people. And this big guy's going through. He's got a lunchbox. He said, I work at that building right there, construction. They're building a building. He goes, I got to get there. He waits like 10 minutes, and I'm waiting for my credentials, and the anarchists are like, F you, Joes, we're going to kick your ass next. And all of a sudden, like, they're hitting people. And all of a sudden, this guy and a woman hit him. He just knocks them both out. The woman comes back. He knocks her down again because he's hitting him. Wow. And then the anarchist runs over and hits him, and he knocks him up against the wall. And the cops finally come over, but it was state police. They come over and tase the anarchist, and the big guy goes to the work site. But imagine, he's clearly got a lunchbox. He's not a Trump supporter. He goes, I'm going to that construction site right by the condo. They were building a new building. They torn one down. They just start attacking him, screaming, you're a white racist, and they were white.
Order doesn't matter to these people. They want complete chaos, complete anarchy, and
well, why would they attack some working class schmo in a construction outfit with a lunchbox? That's a viral video because Q's in it. I'm down, I'm across the street. Q went over. He tells the cops, one of my security guys, he goes, if you're not going to do something, I'm going over there. And so he goes over there, and by then it got shut down. But that's on the viral video. In fact, I told him to give that to you. I don't know if he did, but it's one of the most viral videos out there.
Well, then you just see them all in their little skinny jeans. They got zero muscle tone, zero strength. The only strength that they have is that they can hide under their balaclavas in their group. So one will come out and hit, and then they run back into the crowd. You can't tell them apart because they all look the same. They're like a little insect army. Little army of, I mean, look at these dweebs.
Oh, let's tear up a city-owned trash can. That'll get something done.
Oh, look how tough we are. And then they go.
You don't hurt McDonald's bashing the windows out. You expose his GMO crap. And Bill Gates is part of McDonald's and been on the board. Monsanto is. Oh, but guess who's fighting them? Bill Gates.
And these are the same people that donated a lot of money to Hillary Clinton's campaign. It's like they didn't donate to Donald Trump's campaign. They donated to.
Now, remember, a lot of radio listeners can't see this. Leanne, we found a clip. I'm going to get ready to play it after the break. Gloria Steinem, back in the 60s, talking about the CIA and how it funded her and and the foundations funded her. Again, people say, wow, that's what you always say. It's declassified.
It's true.
It is not to empower women. There was already a women's rights movement, okay? And that was all part of the Western, the world was led by the West and women empowerment. Then they act like we're the people disempowering women when that's where it came from in the West.
Right.
And women have always been more honored in the West. Now they've inverted that, and we've got Gloria Steinem, I pulled some of the articles, we're going to show them for people and also go over them, admitting in mainstream news that the CIA ran Miss Magazine, all of it, to control it and break up the family. And they just admit all of this, and they're doing it again today, Leanne.
Cultural Marxism. It's all right there. We got the documents. It's not like they're trying to hide their plans. I mean, it's all right there in black and white.
What do you think of the women running up and just screaming, thinking basically any masculine male is the enemy?
I just think I'm really kind of frightened. Like I pointed out that cover of the National Geographic magazine, how women aren't even included on the cover of the gender revolution.
Oh, yeah, talk about that.
It's
in the future, women and men don't even exist.
Right.
Because, see, if we exist, male and female, in that relationship of the normal species, that is the species, then it's hurting others.
Well, that's the whole cultural Marxism thing. We all have to be the same. There's no gender. There's no culture. It's the cultural Marxism, and it's a failure. It's failed in the past, but this is what they hope, is that we're all just this sort of subspecies.
And really, they've sexualized some little kid in National Geographic. Let's show the cover. And this is really just basically pervert behavior.
So here's this. I think they have a few different.
The gender revolution. We put chemicals in your water. This has always gone on. We're not mad at anybody that feels like this. The point is this has always gone on some, but now they're forcing it, is the point, with the chemicals.
Well, my point, and what made me so angry about that cover is, fine, sure, you want to talk about the gender revolution, that's fine.
Yeah,
but
where are men and women?
Where's just you're straight up woman, you're heterosexual female. That's
No. Now at all these campuses and stuff, that's not allowed. You're not welcome.
And then I started getting yelled at.
And it's a bully. It's a cult. They're forcing you into it. Sorry, what happened?
I was getting yelled. They're like, oh, so you don't believe transgender women are real women? Like attacking me.
So see, now the only real woman's a transgender. See, now you're being replaced. It's a scientific revolution that would be run by aliens if they were actually in control. Infowars has more than 15 YouTube channels and about 3 million subscribers. Our main channel has 1.854 or 1,854,000 plus subscribers. Now, they've been gaming the system for a long time to shut down nationalistic or patriotic media, saying we're right-wingers, saying we're extremists. Well, it doesn't matter who we are. We have a right to free speech, don't we? As long as we don't violate the rules. Well, now Zuckerberg has come out and said he's going to restrict conservative news like Communist China does, calling it fake news. And Google, that owns YouTube, has announced, and they've done it now 2 weeks ago, that they're going to basically make you click the bell in your notifications. We're going to show you how to do that, or you won't get all the channels that you've subscribed to, and you won't get the videos. Now, why are they doing this? It's more than just censoring. They want you to see the videos that they feed you below and beside the videos you're looking at that are corporately sponsored, so they make more money. They're taking the you out of YouTube. So we're in this information war, and it's more important than ever that you promote the videos, that you like the videos, and that you send them on to others. Because the answer to the attempt to shut us down and restrict free speech that's openly now happening is for us to redouble our efforts. We're winning the culture war as true classical liberals that made this country great. We're restoring the Renaissance. So again, if you want to get our videos, so you can make your decision whether you want to see them or not. After all, that's why you subscribed. YouTube's had this since they started 12 years ago or whatever it was. And they're fundamentally changing it so you don't get it. Ladies and gentlemen, this is promoting fake news and trash news and establishment news. It's killing real independent news. But we the people, by taking action, can break the back of this system. So please, click on the bell so you get the notifications and so you get in your feed the videos and channels you've subscribed to. I'm Alex Jones for Infowars.com.